How's everybody doing out there tonight? Mark Coleman, what's up, buddy? You're not coming across as a Facebook user anymore, bud. It's under your name. That's good. Who out there is ready to try to win a little food plot package? Jeffrey Ray, that's good to see you on here, bud. Get some people on here and we'll start talking away. Charles, good to see you on here, buddy. Oh, Timmy Lambert. I just about called you last night, see if you want to go out for dinner, bud. Well, it's nice. We got to get together, bud. Jim, doing great in Michigan. That's awesome. Old Jeff Johnson on here. Good evening, bud. Mark Coleman, I know you love giveaways. I know that. You're the first person I thought of. Now, me saying that, if you win it, they're going to think it's bias here. So, Robert, I appreciate that. I'm glad you tuned in last week. I'm looking forward more this year to the, more of the training, the info, how-tos. I mean, that's my passion, and that's what I want to push on this. I hardly ever do giveaways. I don't know why. I just thought I would this week. So something to help the viewers out. And I decided I'm going to continue to do it off and on when we do other shows. So see how it goes. John, the giveaway is going to be a good one, bud. Actually, I was setting up in the easy chair just a little bit ago. And I was thinking, why don't I just do 2 giveaways tonight? So we're going to do 2 of them. A food plot package for the spring planting. And then I'll look around here and find something else to give away for a second one for the end of the show. Jeffrey, I appreciate that very much, man. I'll help you out in any way I can. Well, looks like we're getting quite a few people on here. I'll tell you what, let's just give it about 2 more minutes, get about 7:05, and kind of talk about this first giveaway a little bit here shortly. All right, I got a hi, Robie, as a Facebook user, but I don't know who you are. It's coming across Facebook user. But hi to you. Mark, that's a good one. Dropping knowledge. Let me know your top 10 must-dos for any food plotters. We'll do that tonight. I'll do that for you, bud. Jim, no, I don't know what show that is in Nova. I won't have one there. I'll be in Indy this coming weekend, and then from there, it will be Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Birmingham, Alabama. Oh, hey, Scott. Hunter, it's good to see you on here, bud. Yeah, the weather's giving me the ish too, man. This weather, I just walked outside to grab something out of the truck, and it's like 55 degrees. It's just, oh, my. It's funny. I was this year, I finally done something a little different than I normally do. You're listening to a guy that is old school. I like old equipment. I'm the guy that will go out and buy a 30-year-old 5-foot disc for $100, put $200 in it, do some welding on it, and use it for 10 years. That's this type of guy I am. I love working with old stuff. My dad brought me up that way. Not that we had to have old stuff. It's just what he enjoyed too. So the antique tractors, old tractors, stuff like that. I started my food plot career out years ago on a 8N Ford tractor. Well, actually, I started out with a steel rake, then moved up to my 3-wheeler. I built a disc for it. I got a pull behind mower for it. I still use this day. Then I bought a little 4-wheel drive tractor off my brother. It's an 86 model. And that's just the stuff I love doing. Well, this year I decided that I've never owned a tiller on back of a tractor. A lot of my plots I'm still going to run a disc on, but some of my small little plots, the tiller will get back in the woods so much easier on my little tractor that I decided I'm going to go out and buy one. I looked for a used one. I couldn't buy a used one any cheaper than I could buy a new one. So I finally invested in a new one. And I was talking to the wife-to-be the other night, and I said, I'm going to find me an old mower. I like to find me an old zero-turn mower that doesn't even run. I don't care if it's blowed up. I'll get it going, get it running, put a new motor on it. And I want to use it to mow the roadsides on one of my property. And then my small backwoods clover plots, it'd be easier and quicker to go in there with a zero-turn and mow them clover plots when I need to, as long as I can raise the deck up high enough. So I sat there and sketched it all out, what I need to do and everything. Well, next thing you know, she's telling me, no, we're not doing that. We're going to buy you a nice mower. Well, after arguing a little bit, she finally won, which I'm glad she did. So we just came home last night with a brand new bad boy zero-turn. The only negative thing about that is it's like buying a snowmobile in Illinois in the middle of July. It's sitting pretty in the shed, but I can't use it, and it's driving me crazy. So tomorrow I think I'm going to drive it up and down the road just to have fun on it. But so I'm upgrading some equipment this year, so you'll see a lot of different videos come from me because I know a lot of guys are running tillers. It's hard for me to show people in a video out on the plot about tillers and how to adjust them and what to do unless I'm using one. So that's another reason I really wanted one too, because I want to do more hands-on videos on stuff like that. So we're getting some different equipment in here to help everybody out. So a lot of people are running smaller utility tractors with tillers. So I'm looking forward to kind of showing you the yes and no's of what you should and shouldn't do. Mark called me. Yes, I said wife to be. That's August 3rd. So don't call me that day because she told me she's going to hide my work phone on that day. Absolutely, Mark. Bad boys they're Antler King orange. It's already got the decal on it now too. It says Antler King. So, all right, let's start with this first one here. All right, we're going to do a giveaway before I start gabbing like I'm already gabbing. You know how I am. I want the questions tonight, guys, because this is going to be kind of a short topic night because really last week was going to be like a 15-minute live. This to discuss the new kitchen sink. And then we're going to start tonight with new products and the do's and don'ts of new products, stuff like that. Well, it ended up being a whole hour-long show last night. So a lot of the stuff we talked about last week, we'll probably revisit a little bit this week because that's what this week's show is supposed to be about. But, all right, here's what we got. We got pH test kit that'll do 4 plots. Half acre of trophy clover mix, which is our number one clover. My baby right here, they can fire me tonight and I'll plant it tomorrow. And the clover fuel, our foliar fertilizer, strictly for the legume plants. You're not going to feed the weeds and grasses. This first one here is going to be for these 3 products right here, and I'll ship them out tomorrow. So whoever wins, make sure I get your address tonight. I'll ship them out tomorrow. Now, I'm kind of laughing at myself about this, but what you guys have to do to win this is something that I shy away from. I hate doing. I don't want to do it. It drives me nuts doing it because it's hard to do over a screen. But you got to work for this one. What we got here, I want to show you 2 antlers here. Let me get one on my lap here. Okay, you'll see this antler. Beautiful 6-year-old buck. All right. Can I just show you the size of it, holding up against the screen? Anything you want to see? This is last year's shed. This is him this year. Heck of a nice deer. I will tell you, this one right here from him last year, scores 86 inches. That'll help you score this one. The person with the closest score is going to win this giveaway. This first giveaway. We're going to do a second one of something else. I'll show it to you as much as you want to. Again, this other one, this one right here, is 86 inches. You're scoring this one. So it just kind of shows you what we got here, what you think. But again, 86 inches on this one. This one here, you're scoring. I'll just lay it right there for you. And I hope you guys are better scored than I am, because when it comes to something like this, I hate doing it. But again, and here at 7:30, we're going to announce the winner. And then we'll start the next one. It'll be a lot easier, guys. I've never been a big buck, but he's a pretty good sized buck right there, I'm telling you. Good old flyer there. Very fortunate to find both of them a year apart. I have never found the other side yet on either one of them. But let's run this till 7:30. We'll announce the winner. We'll go through, announce the winner. And with that, we're going to start another one. And I think I know what I'm going to give away. We'll find something in here to give away. Maybe a couple, 3 things, maybe. So, but while you guys are playing along here, let's go ahead and let's jump on some new product stuff. I got a lot of people asking questions. Some of you did last week. Some of you guys here are new this week, I understand. But what we're looking at here is new products, new product development. This year we brought out the kitchen sink. It's got 11 different grains in it. It's going to be an awesome feed, very inexpensive feed. The protein level is not way up there like some people want it, but we like keeping our protein down, especially for a year-round feed source. We don't want to burn fat off them during the winter. Great energy, great fiber. Going to really help with the digestive aid on how the different grains that are mixed in with it. You can't beat that product. And I know a lot of you heard this last week, but for the ones that haven't, this one here is going to be out in April. We thought it was going to be March, but for some reason the bags are still on a ship somewhere over wherever. We cannot get them. We're supposed to already have them. Can't get them. Okay, we got a guy on here asking the difference between rack maker and kitchen sink. Rack maker is going to be more of your premium, higher protein feed, where the kitchen sink, again, it's only 10% protein, but it's got the high fiber, the high energy. If you're looking for a mix to feed your deer year-round, your turkeys, your pheasants, your quail, anything like that, this one right here, they're just going to knock it out. It's a knock out of the park type feed. The rack maker, they do the same. The rack maker, you're going to have your pellets in it, where your high protein pellets. This one here does have their high protein pellets in with it too. But for the people that don't know, you got oats, you got wheat, corn, barley, peanuts, Milo, black oil, sunflower seeds, roasted soybeans, shredded sugar beets, protein pellets, and cottonseed. So it's got everything but the kitchen sink in it. I mean, really does. I tested this product out on the Indiana farm prior to season last year. Then I had to stop. Now we're feeding again. It's just amazing what these deer do. Now, don't get me wrong. The rack maker, they hammer the rack maker. It's higher in protein, a lot more money than what this is. But it's a very good for the guy that wants to go out there and feed year round and not have to worry about burning fat off his deer, the fat off the deer in the winter because of too high a protein. Then you can come in with something like the cotton candy, roasted bean cuisine, something like that. You can dump in with it in your feeder that's really high in protein during them spring growing months and through the summer growing months. You can add some protein to it. So you're giving the deer exactly what they need in the spring. If you want to bump it up some more, put that higher protein in there. But you don't have to. But the higher the protein you can get to them deer during that growing season, the better off you are. So again, Rack Maker is more of a premium mix, where this one here is just a good all-around mix for everything, wildlife in general. But with this kitchen sink, again, it's going to be out in April. I've talked about it till I'm blue in the face. I love this mix. I wish I could feed it here in Illinois. I'm glad I can't, because I'd probably go broke doing it. And I know a lot of my buddies here would too. But good old Illinois, we can't do nothing. We're lucky to be able to plant food plots. So far, they haven't taken that away from us yet. So what we're doing here, hey, Anthony, how's it going, Bubba? My Aunt Brenda and Webb's watching from Southern Kentucky. I really appreciate that, guys. Love you guys. What I want to talk about is new development of products. People kind of get down on us, like when we was at the ATA this year, we had this new product here. They want to know why we're not bringing out new products. Why aren't you bringing out new seed products, new minerals, stuff like that? Well, when it comes to a new product, guys, I don't think a lot of people realize how long it takes to actually test a product the correct way. Yeah, we could throw something in a bag, throw it on the shelf, and say, here, this is why you need to use this. But for Antler King, when Todd Stittelberg started this company, he beat it in all of us that you test the product multiple years. All of our products go around to everybody, all of our TV personalities, deer farms, outfitters, and we give out product to have them test it and see how it performs. We want to see how, especially planting a seed mix, you want to see if them plants, if that percentage is good enough that one don't overpower the other one, doesn't shade it out, doesn't kill it out, don't starve each other for nutrition. Some of these mixes, grade 8, that was a 4-year mix. It took 4 years to bring that one out, because we weren't happy the first 3 years on what it was doing. Even though it looked beautiful, you go through there and you can start seeing some of the stuff in there was getting shaded out, getting overpowered, dying out, because they were starving each other for nutrition. So we had to keep lightening up mixes, adding here, lowering them here to get it right. So our testing facility is by far, to me, the best in the industry. It really is. I'm not down in anybody else. None of my competitors, that we're all friends. But I know how ours works, from our laboratory to our field. I know how it works. But what a lot of people don't realize, number 2, is if you look at these products here, anybody that's been around Antler King very long knows Trophy Clover, knows Honey Hole, knows Slam Dunk, knows Lights Out, knows No Sweat. Now, grade 8 came in a few years ago. Southern Greens came in. Our game changer took our old trusty Mini Max. We kind of did Mini Max on steroids and built the game changer Clover. We got into working a few years back and came up with the Booner Buffet, which is our alfalfa blend. But the ones everybody knows, if we are to build a new product, we have to make it better than what we already have. And I'm not saying we're better than anybody else, because other people have great mixes out there. But I personally cannot develop a brassica variety that's better than Honey Hole. If I want to ease an early season food source, I can't develop one better than Southern Greens and Slam Dunk. So if we do develop one, and you have all these products at your store, let's say you're at a Rural King, you have all these products in your store, and all of a sudden Antler King comes out with a new seed blend, one of these seed blends have to go to take the other one's place. So if we want to introduce a new one in, we have to get rid of one. That's how it works in the marketing part of it. They're not going to allow us to just keep, we're going to bring you 10 more in. Well, if you're bringing us 10 more in, you're getting rid of 10 that's on our shelf. We can't get rid of the best out there and put something else in, especially when we can't, as of right now, with the mixes we are working with. There is so many seed varieties out there. There's so many seeds, plants that people are really talking about. And you're getting into a lot of this hybrid stuff. There is not one hybrid plant that I have tested that I like. Not one. And when I mean that I mean is in consumption. I can get them to grow. They're beautiful. They're big. I can't get deer to eat them. And I think if you guys remember, I did a video here a while back on a test plot we did with some hybrids. It was the most beautiful plot I ever seen in my life. Oh my Lord, it was big, it was beautiful, lush. I had 4 cameras on an acre plot, and I couldn't even get a deer in it except to walk through it. They would not eat it all the way through winter, and it rotted the next spring. We won't use something like that. So just because you're hearing about new things, make sure you test them out. Don't go all in the first time on a new mix that nobody else is using. Make sure that you go out there and test these things. Put a little area in somewhere to see if them deer like. I tell everybody, deer love a buffet. I'll never have a property without trophy clover, southern greens, slam dunk, and honey hole. I don't care if I only got a half-acre spot. I promise you there'll be this planted with strips of this in it. That's just how I am. Because I know that I can set over early season and see all the deer I want in slam dunk. I know I'm going to see them in the wintertime over honey hole. The trophy clover mix, they're in it all the time. That's a 12-month food source. So they're getting their protein, they're getting their energy. The southern greens is becoming one of my favorite annual mixes. I was skeptical doing this one. I planted it 1 year as a test, 2 years as a test. The first year, I put a 1/4 acre in. I was blown away by the middle of October that the deer completely destroyed it. It was nothing left, nothing. The next year, I went a half acre bigger. November, destroyed, gone. I'm planting 3 acres now, and it's still not enough. I'm actually taking space away from my honey hole, my slam dunk are my 2 favorites. I'm taking away space from them to add more southern greens this year. It's phenomenal. The deer will destroy it. 2 deer I shot last year, the 2 bucks I shot last year, southern greens. One of the bucks I shot this year, one of them Stacy shot, the one my daughter shot. Actually, 2 Stacy shot, came all southern greens. And it's just phenomenal, guys. I love that mix. I don't let the name fool you. We built that one for the southern states, and so we started testing it up north, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, Illinois, all the way down Iowa, Ohio, Indiana, all the way down through here, all the way to southern parts. There's no difference. The deer will destroy it. That is becoming one of my very best, my favorite mixes. Guys, we got a bunch of questions coming in here. Let me go through these, guys, and then we get ready to draw this thing here. Start going through some numbers. I'm sitting here jabbering away, and I just see this thing blowing up. All right, let's see. Johnny, been using honey hole for a few years now. Great stuff. I appreciate it, man. Robert, I wish I was coming. Man, I had a show there to do this year. I don't know if it's the one you're talking about, but I had one to do there this year until I realized after I committed to do it that it was a weekend that I'm getting married. So you know which one I had to cancel. Jeff, yeah, Trophy Clover is the best. That is by far my favorite blend. It has been for 25 years. Oh, heck, 28 years now. Oh, got a lot of numbers coming in here. Oh, I think I just seen a winner there. Almost pretty close. Wow. Who is that? Let's see here. I'll be darned. Yeah. Uh-oh, he just got beat. Uh-oh. Man, we might have to do some drawings on this one. You guys are pretty darn good. All right, what we got here? Mark Coleman loves Southern Greens. Absolutely. Scott, hi, bud. Which product would be best in more rockier soil? If I was going to plant something in more rockier soil, it'd be like the slam dunk mix. Uh, not it does have some winter peas in it, but I'm not worried about the winter peas as much because the deer are going to nip them off when they get that tall. But the other stuff, that radishes grow so well in rockier soil. Radishes love it. Cereal rye does very well, like our fall, winter, spring. So there's your cereal rye and your radishes in there. So fall, winter, spring, or slam dunk would be my favorites. Jeffrey, trying Game Changer Clover and Booner Buffet. Yep, that'll work out great for you. Jeff Johnson, when should someone start putting down the down and dirty protein blocks? But right now is a prime time to go ahead and start getting them out. Yeah, we're going to have some winter. Now, I know where you're at up there up north, bud. It's a little colder up there in Wisconsin. You can start getting them out. If I could put them out here in Illinois, I'd have them out right now just because the weather we have fluctuating so much. And then it's just going to end up turning off warmer here before too long. I do got to remind myself it's not March yet. I know what March could bring to us. It could be nasty, but it's all right to go ahead and have them out. They're not going to touch them blocks as much until they really need it for the protein and everything. So it's not like you're going to harm them right now with that. So you could start right now by getting them blocks out, especially in the Midwest. Robert, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Exactly right, bud. Mark Coleman, I like how Antler King does the work, so we don't have to. Exactly right, man. I don't think people realize what goes into it, and the crew that we have, as in, nutritionists. I mean, I can't even think off the top of my head now how many nutritionists we have. I'm wanting to say it's over 40. I knew it was before too. It was a little less than that a couple years ago. I think we're over 40 now of our own nutritionists. Everything's in-house. I mean, I will tell you, the only thing that we don't put together in-house is our trophy clover and our honey hole. And that is because it has our germination coating on it. So the company that puts that on our seeds for us, we just go ahead and send them the bags and have them bag it. But other than that, we're doing it. Randy, I have roughly 5 acres. I have clover, oats, and natural grass and rape. And the minute it's up, they keep it mowed down. What can I do? What can I do to get it to grow? But if the deer hammer it that much, I mean, I would look in clover, great. I would look into more like, especially a fall planting, your cereal rye. That cereal rye, like in the fall, winter, spring, stuff like that. It's not a one and done. They're not going to eat it down and it's gone. It's going to continue growing until the real cold weather comes in, the first hard frost, then it goes dormant and it will come back the next year for about 3 months. So I'd look more into the stuff that's going to continue growing. Your clovers, your chicory is another great one. Chicory is the only one that has minerals and vitamins embedded into it. And your cereal grains, so like cereal rye. Ricky, when should I introduce deer to Lick Magic? Lick Magic, any of your minerals like that, you're going to be introducing them to when they need it. So the colder weather, you'll see with minerals, the deer are going to lay off of them. On my farms that I have that's not in Illinois, I will start introducing them right now in the Midwest. I like this freeze and thaw. I like letting it suck it down in the soil. The mineral licks, they're big enough holes that they hold water. They absorb it all in, gets in the soil. That's what I like doing with my mineral licks. So really, anywhere in the Midwest right now, you can start getting the minerals down. Wait till March, whatever you want. But right now is a good time to get them established. Scott, yes. If you're doing an acre of ground, could you split it in 3 strips? Absolutely. I mean, what I like to do, let's just say if I had an acre out there, that's all I had. That's all I could use. I would plant it. If it's a sunnier area, I'm planting it with our trophy clover. Okay. I want to let that grow through there. Number 1, The clover is going to feed the deer. At the same time, the clover is actually sucking nitrogen out of the atmosphere and storing it into the soil, which is what the annual plots love. They need that. They thrive on that nitrogen. So you're feeding the soil and feeding the deer at the same time. So I got my plot of clover. My whole plot's trophy clover. Then I'll come in. I'll either do parts of it or I will do strips. I'll run strips through it and put my honey hole, my slam dunk. I'll even like 5 or 6 foot wide strips. So you still got your clover. And then you got that. A lot of people like going around the edges with their annuals. I like stripping mine. So, and I'll always strip it with something different. I'll do honey hole in a couple strips. I'll do slam dunk. I'll do some southern greens or lights out, fall, winter, spring, anything like that. Any of the annuals, especially good energy food sources. That's what I'm stripping it with. Jeffrey, I have Power Rack and and Trophy Mineral currently out. I haven't had any action in it yet. What's the best use for these? The Power Rack and Trophy Deer Mineral, that is going to be your minerals that are going to be a warm season. A lot of people don't understand that how deer, they don't need them minerals like that through them winter months. They're focusing more on energy food sources to build that fat back in their body. As soon as that weather breaks and you start getting these warmer days, like now here in Illinois, right where I'm at, 60 degrees a day. When that ground starts thawing out a little bit like that, them deer will start hitting them. If it freezes back up, they're done again. They don't need it. So you'll start seeing more consumption April, May, June, July, all the way till about October. And then you're going to start at October is about the end of it. You'll start seeing them gradually go away from it again. That growing season, bucks are in velvet. The does have their fawns, milk production. That's when you're going to see them hammer it the most. And that's when they need it the most. Hey, Marcus. Yeah, you're kind of cross Facebook user, bud. I was curious about trophy clover as I get ready to frost seed. Would it hurt to run a drag with teeth over the existing clover just to loosen the soil a little? With seed to soil contact, usually when you're looking at that, this time of year, you already got the exposed soil. What I have found, if you're frost seeding at the perfect time, it'd be too wet. The top layer would be too wet to even get on with a piece of equipment. If you can get on it with a piece of equipment, you're actually a little early for frost seeding. I know you can get on Facebook and everybody's been frost seeding for 2 months and all this and that. You can do that. I don't like it. I prefer to wait till I'm getting closer to that last freeze up, that last thaw, or that first thaw, real good thaws coming in. I mean, it's beautiful weather here, 60 degrees a day. It's a muddy mess. I know March is coming. I know nasty weather is still coming here in Illinois. I won't be doing any of mine until probably March. So if you can get on it with a piece of equipment, with a drag, it's probably too wet to do so. I mean, it's too early to do so. If you do it at the right time, you'll probably tear more up in the plot than it helps. So I'd rather just see a frost seed right over it, or overseed. If it's a little too late, you can still overseed right over top of it. Let Mother Nature suck it in. John, I don't know if if what I just answered helped you out there on best time to frost seed in northern Minnesota. I'm looking for that last real bad cold spell where it's freezing at night, thawing during the day, and then eventually it's just going to stay thawing. That's what I'm looking for. And yes, Marcus, seed to soil contact is key. But usually in a frost seeding type area, your plants are so small for over the winter that usually they get in there anyway. You're usually pretty good. You're welcome, Jeffrey. Absolutely. Scott, yeah, that winter wheat, you'll probably see it come up this spring. You'll see it green back up this spring. Mark Coleman's asking what time it is. He's wanting to know who's winning here. Hold on 1 second. I got a couple more here, guys. When you plant the barricade, how wide are you planting it? For example, perimeter plot. If I'm in an open area, that's going to get a lot of wind through the winter months. I'm going to go at least 8 foot wide. If I'm around the field edges, around plot edges, that's not going to get hammered by 60-mile-an-hour straight line winds, I'll go 6 foot. It's no big deal. But I like going that 8 foot. It just gives it that little extra to help it, because them straight line winds, I don't care what you plant, it's going to lay them over. So I like going that little extra width. Josh, best mix on damp soil and old logging road. A game changer clover right there, bud. 4 years of growth out of one bag. One bag will do about a 1/4 acre. It's a 6 foot strip, a 1/4 mile long. You can't beat that mix. Very good for poor soil, damp soil, low pH. Grows very well in a shaded area. All right. Let me go through here and find the closest answers real quick. We're getting ready to announce the winner of the first one here. I've seen a lot of them that's pretty close there together. Let's see here. Man, there's a lot of close ones. Ooh, that one almost got it. Uh-oh. Let me write that name down real quick. See who else tied with him. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, that's even closer. Man, there's a lot of you on here doing this. Holy cow, what we got here? Let's see. Man, I wish that antler was that big. Holy cow. Just double checking here. Make sure I didn't miss somebody. Oh, Jared Gaskill's on here. Good to see you on here, bud. Man, we might have to do a coin flip on this one. I know it's killing you, Mark. I know it's killing you. That's the only reason I'm triple checking these right now, because I know it's killing you. All right, I think that's it. You going nuts yet, Mark? There it is. Couldn't find his name. Well, we had a bunch of you very, very close, but we got one guy. He is on the money. And I think there actually might be a second guy on the money. Oh, nope, no. I'll tell you what, you guys are pretty good at this. You guys are real good. All right. All right. I was just reading stuff, guys. I already knew that. I already knew who the winner was, so I was just messing with you guys. Jared Gaskill, you hit her on the head, buddy. 77 and an eighth. I mean, that is hitting the nail on the head. There are so many of them so close. I had some 2/8. That's why I had to keep going back and forth on everything. Just make sure that I had somebody else there. Jared, all I need your address, or I'll see you at Iowa, whichever one that you want. But I know you'll be at the Iowa show. Or I can just send it to you. Just let me know. I appreciate it, buddy. Congratulations. So, who wants to do another one? This one's easier. This one's a lot easier. Actually, as you can tell, I guess I should show you. Oh, that was a 6-year-old buck. This is a 7-year-old buck. Same deer. But he is going downhill something fierce. Even from here, he lost about 25 inches this year into that year. He's still, as you can tell, he's still alive. I got a feeling he's going to be really bad next year. I cannot get this deer shot to save my butt. I've tried for 4 years. I cannot get him daylight. This year, I was bucked out. Stacy could only hunt during the weekends. My daughter was bucked out. And every time Stacy could not hunt during the weekend with me being bucked out, I had him in that Southern Greens plot. I got so many evening and early morning pictures of that deer. And during shooting hours, it was unbelievable. He knew I was bucked out. That's the deer actually we were going after for Stacy on her second buck, and that bonus buck came out, and we could not pass that deer up. So he's still alive. Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys, I wouldn't be disappointed, because I've been reading your stuff here. It's amazing how close you guys are. There was only a couple of them that were out there. The rest of them, you're on the money. I mean, you were within an eighth, 2/8, 3/8. I could not believe it. All right, Mark, I knew you'd throw up on here giveaway too. For you guys that don't know Mark is one of my pro staffers for Antler King, so that's why he's pushing me along. He's pushing me. So, which I need that. All right, let's get rid of that deer. I'm going to throw him down here somewhere. Same antler. I don't know what's the best way to do it. I don't know. Let's kind of go that way. What are we going to give away? I'll tell you what. Let's give away a mug, an orange coffee cup, porcelain cup. Hell, let's throw a black one in there. What else I got here? Heck, let's throw a game of bag. Let's go with some Game Changer Clover as well. There's you a second one right there. So you got your Game Changer Clover, a mug, 2 porcelain coffee cups. The closest one in the next 15 minutes that can tell me the length of the main beam. Length of the main beam. I got you, Jared. I'll have it there at the Classic for you, bud. I'll make your brother carry it out to the car. Rick Stillman, good to see you on here, bud. Holy cow, you guys are good. I'll quit looking at them right now. But no, back to the new product stuff, guys. That's one reason you're not seeing a lot of new seed mixes and stuff from us over the last few years, just because it's hard for us to put together something that without getting rid of something else. And don't get me wrong, you can always improve a mix somehow. But when it comes to, let's just go with, let's just say Booner Buffet. If we decided that we thought, man, we would like to have, we got 2 different varieties of alfalfa here. Let's go with a mix that we can do 3, or we put 4 in there. Let's just do a complete alfalfa mix. We're not going to gain much in doing that for what this is going to offer. With the 2 premium varieties of alfalfa, the premium variety of clover that's in it, we're not going to gain much, but it's going to cost a lot of money to give that little extra to it. So, and what I mean by that, I mean by packaging, labeling, the whole 9 yards. It costs a lot to have one of these bags done. The plates that actually print them, very, very expensive. So you really want to make sure you have that all moment of, man, this is going to be a no-brainer, just like we did with the kitchen sink. We know this mix. I mean, the orders we have for this mix is not even going to be out till April. It is ridiculous. I mean, it's almost scary ridiculous. I was wondering if we ordered enough bags or not. 2 years worth of bags, and I don't know if we're going to have enough for the first year. So we're in on that, So there's a lot more to it than just throwing something in a bag, sealing it up, throwing it on a shelf. I hope you can understand what I'm talking about. It's not that we don't want to give you guys something new in a seed mix. When we do, you will know, I better try this because I know how long they've tested it. We are testing products. We have been for the last 2 years. Some good, some not so good, some not good at all. They get thrown out. Then it comes to putting them together, testing them, see how we like. The only negative thing we have here is we like testing them, not just in a laboratory to see how they grow and the germination rating. We want them in front of deer to see how deer are going to eat them. Because if the deer don't eat them, I don't care what that laboratory tells us. If the deer don't eat them, we're going to have unhappy customers. So we're only limited once a year to be able to do this for deer, especially with annual mixes. So it just takes some time, but you'll see something before you know it. I mean, I got something up my sleeve that we're working on that for the right person and the person to start doing it, they're going to go, man, why didn't you come up with this a long time ago? And the other one's going to go, nah, I ain't trying that. It's going to be kind of one of them type of mixes that I know personally. The old founder of Antler King, Todd, knows it's actually one of his mixes that he brought to my attention a couple years ago on a video shoot that is just amazing. But I just don't know if the sales are going to be there to do it because people won't understand it. It's going to take a lot of teaching to let people understand why we want you to plant this stuff. So we'll see how it goes. We're testing it. See if these are all just numbers or if we got some questions here. Actually, Greg, yeah, I got guys MPA, grade 8, Southern Greens, Slam Dunk. I got guys that use the heck out of it. I can't remember what part of PA that was today. I can't remember what part it was, but he just ordered all his seed for the year. He called me and he's never used our product for him, worked with him and consulted with a bunch of stuff on it. And he ordered a whole bunch of product this year. But he's planting all of it too. Jeffrey, the pelletized lime, you're asking when you frost seed, do you also put pelletized lime down? If I am bucked out and killed out and I'm not chasing particular deer, I will go in and I'll have my lime. I'll be putting my lime on in December. The earlier you put that lime on, the better off you are. So yes, you can put it down the same time you frost seed, but if you can put it down before, it's even better because you're looking at pelletized lime takes 3 months to break down. Ag lime takes 6 months. That's why you see a lot of the farmers, they always put it on the winter before the next spring. That's why. So the earlier you can get that lime down, the better off you are. Now, Mark, what did you ask me earlier? Let me look here. You asked me to give my opinion on something. I know we're getting close to the end of it here. You want to hear the top 10 most do's for any any food plotter. Top 10. Well, I don't have to use my fingers here. Number one would be plot placement. Make sure you can get to and from it without being detected from deer if you're wanting to hunt over it. Wind plays a big factor in where you put your plot at. 2, pH of the soil. Make sure that soil pH is good. Let's go with getting that. Yeah, let's just go ahead and stick that with number 2 too. Make sure your lime is on early enough and get that build up. Number 3, let's go with tillage. Make sure that you are properly tilling the area. A lot of people want to get too deep. Don't get too deep with it. You only need that top 1.5 inches, 2 inches there. The more tillage you do, the more weed seeds you bring up, the weedier the plot you're going to have. And with that, they go along with tillage. Let's go with herbicides. Use some glyphosate, Liberty, something like that to kill the area off. Do not use 2,4-D. 2,4-D has a 30-day residual on it. So you got to wait even longer before you plant over top of it because you could kill some of the seeds. So let's go with number 4, planting. Planting depth. You got planting depth there. You always want to look and go by what we recommend for planting depth. Never plant a seed deeper than 3 times the diameter of the seed. That's my theory there. On the seed depth there, never overseed. Let's just go with that with number 4. Don't overseed. Or 5, I mean. Don't overseed. Overseeding a food plot with too much seed, you're starving the the plants for nutrition. There's not enough nutrition there. Even though you put the 300 pounds per acre of 0060, as we say on our trophy clover, that is for what's in the bag. That's not for you overseeding it with more. So if you're overseeding the plot too much, you'll starve the plants for nutrition. I'm going to quit counting. Let's just keep talking. Let's go with maintenance of the plots, your springtime plots. You want to get in there. Herbicides, 2,4-DB for a grass herbicide, clethodim. For a weed herbicide, grass herbicide, you're looking at clethodim. That's going to help you take care of a lot of stuff. Now the 2,4-DB has to have that B as in boy on the end of it. The trophy clover mix has chicory in it. So if you mix it very hot, you are going to kill the chicory out of it. So you have just a straight clover plot. So I like using the mowing method. I like mowing my plots, even if they don't need mowed, getting some weeds and grass in there, mow them plots, let the clover thicken up, start smothering that out. Make sure of that. Proper fertilization. Clovers, all they need is potash. Leave the nitrogen away from them. You're feeding weeds and grasses. It comes with the annual mixes. They love nitrogen, triple 19, urea, anything like that. Urea, watch when you're using it, just because you don't want to burn the plants if you're not getting the moisture. Picking the proper seed for the area. If you got trophy clover mix that needs a good sun, don't go plant it back in the woods with a shade. That's where the game changer clover comes in at. That's where the no sweat comes in at. Some of these mixes you can get by with 4 to 5 hours. Some you need 6 to 7 hours of sunlight. The more sunlight you can give a plant, the better that plant is going to grow. It's going to give you more tonnage. It's going to be more palatable. It's going to be higher in protein, higher in energy, whichever one you're planting. So always think, if you can open up the canopy just a little bit more to get a little bit more sun in there, that's going to help that plant. And by doing that, you're going to help the deer. So I don't know what number I'm at, but there's just so many we can go to. Go back to seeding. Seeding your plots. Always seed on a firm seed bed. You're looking at, colopacking. And with me, me, I'm a Packer Max guy. So I'm taking the Packer Max and I'm colopacking after I till. I'm broadcasting my seed. I'm colopacking with the Packer Max one more time. I always seed on a firm seed bed, so never a loose one. But there's just so much stuff we can talk about, and we're going to have a lot of that coming up here in the next few months of just one thing after another. So let's see what we got here, because we're getting ready to get cut off here in a little bit. All right, where are we at? How much sun does barricade need? Barricade loves the sun. It needs a good sun, and it loves nitrogen. Pour the nitrogen to it. All right, let's see what we got here for some numbers. All I see is Mark Coleman. Giveaway two. That's all I see here. Oh, Jared almost had it again. Sorry, Jared. I guess I just spoiled that for you. Well, I see a winner right on the money. Let's make sure there's not two of you here. I don't think so. Ooh, there's a couple close. I'll tell you what, Jeff, if it was 351 and an eighth, it'd be something. But I think that's supposed to be 35 and an eighth, isn't it? All right. Looks like we only got one winner there, and it's old Anthony. Anthony Culture, you got it, bud. 26 inches on the money. That's how she works right there, guys. Both of them are on the money. I cannot believe that. Well, I think I got some questions down here, guys. I appreciate you guys playing along like this. You never know. I might do this on every show. You never know. I might find something to give away. You never know. You better be keeping an eye out for it. Just making sure, seeing if I got any other questions here, guys. Jim, what's your recommendation for crop rotation? I did a 1 acre honey hole plot last year. Would you do it again this year or rotate with something else? I like rotating my honey hole every 2 years. You can get by with 3 if you pour the nutrition to it pour the fertilizer to it. But I like running mine 2 years. So I'll run mine 2, and then I will switch it back over to the trophy clover, game changer clover, the Booner Buffet, something like that. I want something to help suck that nitrogen in. Throw some chicory in there with it. If you're not using the trophy clover, throw some extra chicory in there, and that's going to really help. The chicory is going to pull it from down deep. The clover is going to suck it in from the atmosphere. You're going to have all that nitrogen stored in there. So when you start using your brassicas again, you got a lot of build-up fertilizer there ready for them. A lot of food. Jared Gaskill, what was the minimum you would ever mow your clover, and what's the best height to mow it regularly? Jared, I'm probably the wrong guy to ask this to because I do things backwards. If I'm having an all right season with moisture and my clover is not too bad, I will always top it and leave about 6 inches standing. You always hear 8, 10. I like leaving about 6 inches standing. Now, if I got a plot that I really want to get healthy and I'm getting a lot more weeds and grasses in it, and I don't want to spray it with the herbicide, if I'm getting plenty moisture, I mow it like I do my yard. I'll knock it down to 1.5 inches tall and then let it just explode. I'll pour some clover fuel to it, and it will just explode and help it outgrow them weeds and grasses. You might have to do it a couple different times, but it will definitely help. But if you're not getting the moisture, do not do that because you will burn that plot up in a hurry. So without a lot of moisture, but still getting some, I'm saying about 6 inches. Aaron, hey, Robie, years ago, when I first used fall, winter, spring, the bag was 34 pounds and planted a 1/2 acre. And now this year I'm looking into rotate my honey hole with it, and I see it comes in a 17-pound bag, and it would do a 1/4 acre. Just the other day I read that. I don't know where you're getting the 1/4 acre at, bud. The fall, winter, spring, what we actually did is when it was the 34-pound bag, that was because it was cereal rye and peas. Now we have taken away some of the cereal rye and we have actually added the radish to it. That's where it gets the lower poundage in the bag for a bigger area, is because it does have tubular radishes in with it now too. So you're getting your peas and your cereal rye and the radish with it. So that's why you're seeing a difference in the bag. I think at one time, the 17-pound bag, when it first came out, was 3 years ago or so, on a few different platforms, they forgot to put half acre. They forgot to switch it, so it said 1/4 acre, but it never was a 1/4 acre bag. When it came to 17, it was always a 1/2 acre, so it had the radish mixed in with it. Mark Coleman, it's too late to change your guess. Anthony, I'll get with you, Bubba. I appreciate it. And Mark, I'll see you at Indy, bud. I appreciate the help. PA boys, yes. Anytime you see that clover flower, it's at its lowest protein rate, so and least digestible. So you can just knock them tops off. But like with our trophy clover, if you get good soil, good sun, you put the proper amount of potash to it, you can get 22-inch tall clover plants, and they got leaves on the size of your hand. That's the maximum they're going to get. It needs a good soil, good sun. So a lot of people ask me, well, you saying leave 8 inches up or 6 inches? My clover don't even get that tall. Well, usually it's because the soil, not enough fertilizer, whatever. So yes, you definitely want to take the tops off. Just the white flowers, pink flowers, purple, whatever kind of clover you're planting. You want to take them off, but for weed control, you can knock them down a little bit more, as long as you got the moisture. Jeff, I spray clover fuel the same day I mow it. I spray it right over top of it because then plants are opened up. I spray right over top. Now, that is when I'm just topping it. Now, if I'm cutting that plant, if I'm cutting it real low, I go in and spray my clover fuel on them plants prior to mowing if they're not dormant yet, if they don't have a flower. If they have a flower, I wait a week after mowing them down real low. So if that plant is dormant, it's not going to absorb that foliar fertilizer in. So if it has that flower on there, it will not absorb it. So you want to make sure that plant is not in its dormant stage. So if I just got a clover patch that is not dormant yet, it's not flowered, and it's thick, and I want to mow it down real low, I will go in there and spray it a couple days before I mow it, and then I will come back and mow it. But if it is flowered, I'll come back about a week after I cut it to let them plants start coming back to life and coming together, because it is a foliar fertilizer. You want it to get as much on the plant as you can. Robert, I appreciate that. I'll tell you what, that sign's sitting right over there about how many seeds are in a pound of seed, and how to multiply that out. A lot of people don't realize how the difference in seed, just like we were talking about fall, winter, spring a little bit ago, the difference between that was a 34-pound bag that planted a half acre, and we dropped it down to a 17-pound bag just because we had radishes. Well, a pound of radishes, I mean, it's unbelievable how many seeds there is in a pound of radish compared to just a pound of cereal rye. So that's why I want people to kind of know that stuff. What fertilizer for clover? They need potash. 0060 is my favorite. You can go through like a 02020, but 0060 is my favorite for all clovers, alfalfas. Barricade, it loves nitrogen. 1919 is perfect for it. You can get by with going like a 1010, 12, but 1919 is going to be the best for it. All right, guys, they're getting ready to kick me off here. We went 10 minutes over, so I'm getting yelled at here on here. 2 weeks, I'll be back on here again. I appreciate everything, guys. I'm glad you came on here. I'm glad we got some stuff gave away, and looking forward to the next time. Again, 2 weeks from the night. You never know, I might throw something together there, a little giveaway action. So you guys have a great night, and we'll see you soon.